Ice fishing in Iowa. Today I'm going to try ice fishing. So folks, I joined a Facebook group for fishing just to try to do a little more on Facebook. I never do much. And I was asking for suggestions for ice fishing. Let me grab my stool. And this guy commented and said, hey, I'll take you out. You know, I watch some of your archery stuff. Message me. So I went to go message him, and it turns out he had already messaged me in the past. I didn't even know, because I don't hardly ever do much on there. It's hard to keep up with all the social media and stuff. So here we are. We're sitting on a lake, a frozen lake in Iowa, waiting for the fish to bite. So, like, probably this week I'm going to try to pick up some equipment type stuff. We're going to wait and see what all you're using just to get some ideas.
Yep. I'm a firm believer in expensive rods aren't needed. I mean, there's ice fishing rods out there that are $200.
Yeah.
This was $12 for the rod. The reel was $30. I do splurge a little bit on a nicer reel. Yeah. Because that does most of the work.
Yeah.
This rod was $14.
Nice.
The reel was $30 at Walmart.
Yeah.
This rod was like $20, I think.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, you know how it is.
Yeah.
So I got a fish coming up. There's a solid red line beam. Here he comes. He just bit. Oh. Trying to get back down to him. Oh, he might be on.
Yeah, it's like it.
He's either on or I'm caught in a branch. He might have got me stuck into a branch. Yep, he did.
What pound test are you using?
I've got 3.
3, okay.
Yep. And then on my heavier rods that I typically will use for spoons, I use 6.
Okay. So do you think, do you break off many rigs when you're doing it like this?
Yeah, yesterday I lost 2.
Yeah.
Just because we're fishing in brush.
Yeah.
If I lose this one, I'll probably switch a hole and just try to get out just on the outside edge of it.
Yeah.
So I'm probably gonna lose this one. I can feel the branch pulling it back down. Sometimes you can get lucky.
Oh. That's cool. I get to see you drill a hole there. You're gonna drill one.
Yeah, I'll move over a spot. I'll just come like a couple feet back.
Yeah.
Just see if that gets us right on that outside edge.
Is that a 6-inch?
Yep, 6-inch auger.
Yeah.
And then I bought this adapter on eBay. This drill adapter. I just run it on a Milwaukee 1/2-inch hammer drill.
Oh yeah!
Pop another one like
So did you do a second just in case that wasn't far enough over?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Take the soup ladle. Get all the slush out of there.
Do you ever have situations where you wish you had an 8-inch auger?
Yeah. He has a, what do you have, a 7.5?
Yeah, it's a 7.5.
Yeah, they're nicer because a lot of times you get tangled up in your transducer.
Right.
The only reason I have a 6 is because I didn't have a drill at the time, and it's easier to hand drill a 6-inch hole.
Okay.
Next year I'll probably buy an 8.
Okay.
Just now that I have the drill.
One nice thing about the tighter hole when you start a fish, and if it's a nicer fish, a bigger one, it has the least tendency to go back down the hole.
Yeah.
It's kind of coming up and it can't go back down.
Gotcha.
Big holes, they can get off and flop back and turn around a little bit faster.
Gotcha.
So you're a little easier to lose, but bigger hole, I mean, you can get a lot bigger fish. That's what you're going for, your bigger predator fish.
Right.
So this is showing, and this transducer goes out in a cone.
Right.
So what I'm seeing here is, since the lines aren't as solid colored,
Mm-hmm.
and it's out in a cone, it's most likely just the outskirts of the branches that it's picking up.
Okay.
This real solid line is most likely still a branch
Gotcha.
underneath of us. The nice thing is the branch is down to 8 feet.
Right.
So we'll be able to jig right above it and still be pretty close to bottom,
Right.
and still be able to pull the fish up out of the branch. So this looks like it would be a pretty good hole. You might have, that's not solid enough to where I'm worried about it. It could just be a little piece of branch just kind of sticking out, you know, within the cone.
Okay.
It's the real solid ones is a good indicator that it's definitely a branch underneath of you. So, oh, there it is.
So got him?
Yep.
Alright.
Crappie.
Ooh, nice
That's what
one.
we're here for.
Sweet.
Yep. Yep, finally.
It's a nice looking fish.
You don't mind if I throw them, guys?
What's that?
I'm harvesting.
Oh, no, yeah,
All right, I
I-
didn't know if you wanted that on your channel or not.
Yeah,
You know, some
hey
people-
man.
some
People gotta eat.
I know. Some people, you know, they don't like to see that kind of stuff. So
Huh.
yeah, I'll hold it up here.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's delicious, man. I don't. I mean, I definitely like. Yeah, I definitely would keep some if I was.
$8 at Walmart.
There you go.
Has a measurement on it.
Oh, nice.
So right about 10. So it's about the smallest I'd keep.
Yeah.
10 inches. So pink. So we found a color they want. They want pink. So that's good. Good news. I mean, because that was almost instant.
Yeah.
So sometimes that's all it takes is a color change.
Yeah.
So let's let you get down there. Yep, and then stop. And then just jig it right above that branch. And then when a fish does come up, you almost want to pause your presentation and just kind of let it sit. That's when they'll actually kind of strike it.
Okay.
All the jigging around is just to get their attention.
Hey guys, we're here.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't mind like I definitely like eating fish and stuff.
Yeah.
I keep a few. I don't go overboard when I
No.
when I do keep them. Like I know some people have like this giant pile of fish.
No, see, there's no reason for that.
Yeah, that's what bothers me. I just
Yesterday, okay, so here comes a fish.
kind of botched that, I think.
That's alright.
Got
A lot
all
of times
excited.
they'll turn around and come back.
I got all excited. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And then I kind of freaked out a
A
little.
lot of times they'll turn around and come back. Yeah, yesterday I only kept 5. Usually it's what I'm going to eat in a sitting with the family.
Yeah.
There's no reason to take 25 crappies home
Yeah.
and fill your freezer.
Yeah, you gotta.
You know, so I mean, if me and that guy yesterday pulled a limit out of here, we probably wouldn't even catch anything in the spots of today. You know,
Right.
just there's no need for it.
I think I botched that. He took off. Should I try to go below that branch?
I would stay right above it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's only 2 feet above the bottom, so if anything's below it, they're gonna see it anyways. Especially with it being bright pink.
Get a little more excited with this.
Yeah. Just kind of change it up your cadence or whatever. Sometimes they like that real aggressive. Sometimes they really like a little finesse, you know. Just kind of. And a lot of it's with crappies is they're roaming around in schools.
Yeah.
So sometimes it might take 10 or 15 minutes before one actually moves in. Too, I mean.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't know. Do you think they're stacked in down there? Or do you think they're roaming?
They're probably roaming a little
Yeah, that's
bit
what
right
I
now.
mean. So here comes a fish.
Okay.
He's slowly coming up to you. Alright, pause.
Will you feel them when they bite it?
Yep, so when they get real alright, pause. See if he wants it sitting still. Here he comes. There you go.
Yeah.
I have to watch my, there you go. I always watch the tip when
Okay.
when I see them get real close, because I have a hard time detecting the bite
How you
in my hands, especially when they're cold.
get it out? He really swallowed
Yeah,
it.
he did.
Folks, that right there is my first ever ice fishing fish right there. And boy, did he swallow it.
He sure did.
He's like, I'm
Luke, you got your...
Did he swallow it?
Yeah, it's just in there just enough. His mouth's small enough that
It's hard to get
I don't
out.
want to hurt him.
There you go, nice movie. But absolute essentials. Like somebody wants to get ice fishing gear, what would be your suggestion? Absolute most important pieces of equipment. I mean, the rod, yeah, and it doesn't. You mentioned you focus more on the reel than the rod itself, but what about beyond the rod? Tungsten jig heads.
Tungsten jig heads in various sizes. You know, 3 millimeter up to 5 millimeter, 6 millimeter. Sometimes these little tiny, if they're real finicky, that's moving down to something real small is the key. So just a good assortment of jigs, good assortment of colors, definitely. I mean, I have my favorites. I really like white and pink.
Okay.
Seems to be more, and red seem to be the better colors for me that I've noticed. Gold's also a real popular color. A lot of people use, I don't use gold, but a lot of people use gold. My buddy out here, that's all he used yesterday was gold, and he caught just as many fish as I did. So.
You're typically just using wax worms with them?
Yep, wax worms or plastics. Yesterday, I fished strictly with plastics the whole time.
Okay.
Today they seem to want a little bit of meat instead, which could be from yesterday. You know, I was fishing from yesterday too. They might have got a little more finicky.
I had one move in just now, but then decided to turn back.
And then you can use little jigging spoons too.
Okay.
Those are better for you know, walleye and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, bare essentials. Tungsten jig heads. Like an ultralight. If you're going to be targeting mostly panfish, get an ultralight rod. I like the longer rods. That rod you got there is 32 inches. Actually, might be. That one's 36. A lot of people like the shorter rods, you know, 24. If you're in an ice shack, the shorter rod's easier to fish with because you're in a confined space. I tend to like the longer ones, the longer rods. But yeah, ultralight rod, you know, with just a decent reel, 3-pound test, handful of tungsten jigs, and some wax worms is really all, you know, all you need to get started.
Well, I mean, as far like, so we've got this Vexilar here. I mean, I had to fish, swim in, and then not hang around and leave again. I would have had no idea if I wasn't looking at one of these, you know? I wouldn't even know, like,
so a funny story,
the depth to be jigging right now.
Yeah. That was last year, Luke, when we first went out. I didn't have a Vexilar.
Yeah, the first.
So we went out last
Christmas
year
Day.
on Christmas Day. Actually, we found good ice, and I had the following summer is when I sold all my stuff. So all I had was an ice rod, and then just a couple of things, and I had no electronics. And I outfished a guy out there that was using a $3,000 Panoptix live scope system.
Wow.
So what I would do if I had no electronics is I would drop all the way down the bottom, reel up maybe 6 inches, jig, pause, jig. I mean, it's definitely not as fun, but it works, you know. You can still catch fish.
Well, I caught one, and I mean, this whole time I botched one. For sure, another one had come up, and I just kind of didn't play right. I'm so new at this, so not, you know.
No.
I actually, what I did is I dropped it down one time below that stick or whatever, and I did a little jigging, and it seemed like some moved in when I did that.
And
I tried to get them up above that.
Another thing that, since we're in a mud bottom too, is if you go all the way down to the bottom, sometimes stirring the mud up a little bit attracts fish. They want to come over and see what's going on. So.
All right. Well, just as I brought this one in, you hooked that one. Woohoo! Number 2.
There's some weeds down here.
Oh, there's a
There's
crappie.
a crappie. Nice
There we
fish.
go.
There you go.
That's what we want.
Yep.
That's it. It's a decent one.
Yep.
Let me get a picture of that for the wifey too.
Okay, want me to take it?
Oh, I missed him. Come on. Oh, he went back down. Well, looks like there's 2 of them now. There might be a school moving in. Not sure what. Not sure what I got. Call it.
Did you have a fish on before it got caught?
I thought I did.
All right, I let some line out. Maybe he'll swim down out of it.
Keep it going.
Yeah. We're about in that hour.
What's that?
We're about in that time frame where
But yeah.
it's 4 o'clock, so for the next hour or so,
Yeah.
usually it's gonna be our best bite.
Alright.
It also could be worth moving around a little bit too.
Folks, I am sitting here editing, and I didn't mention it because the GoPros kind of fizzled out. They stopped working in the cold. But we hit quite a bit more fish. I think I caught a total of about 8 bluegill and that crappie, and Kim caught more than that. So we had a fun time, and I already have plans to get back out on the ice less than a week from now. So I will be cranking out some ice fishing videos. This was sort of like an intro. So intro to me for ice fishing, and I was including some of that information in here for you in case you're just getting into it or wanting to get into it. Kim was sharing some of his ideas on basic equipment. I'm going to go get some equipment so that I have it, and I'll be making some videos. So I hope you will stay tuned. Until then, take care and God bless.